let me ask you a question. I think this conversation we're having is probably going to be released around the time of the inauguration, and that encourages me to ask this question. Even if it's after that, I still think it's really interesting to hear your take on this. What is the story that Biden needs to tell us to inoculate us against the ignorance and violence that we're seeing, if nothing else, to basically override it in some way? What is the story he needs to tell?
I think Biden needs to tell the truth, right?
Well, but
The
he's got to couch it in a certain way, right? Because Donald Trump told a truth to his people. They think it's true.
I think that the beauty, and I think it was brilliant activist and scholar Bree Newsom Bass said this, I believe. Democrats have never been in a better position to talk about and combat white supremacy in terms of storytelling, because the white supremacists have just told you the story themselves, right? When they killed a police officer, when they marched on the Capitol, it shows you this was never about the military. It was never about police. It was never about kneeling. It was never about any of those things. It was always about upholding white supremacy and destroying anything that gets in the way, even the institutions that uphold white supremacy. So
They'll just
think,
make new ones.
right, exactly. So I think that Biden is in a very particular moment where he gets the opportunity to, like I said, tell the truth, because the truth is right there. All you have to do is say what we've seen already, and I think for his more moderate, centrist, white and black supporters, it's a matter of saying, we can't have that happen again. And to not have that happen again, this is what needs to be done. Because like if you
I see.
yes, if you look at it like that, right, you're not saying like, oh, he doesn't have to get up there and say defund the police and Black Lives. He doesn't have to say any of that. All he has to say is, we are taking whatever steps are necessary so this never happens again. And the necessary steps are frankly what we've all been asking for and protesting for.
Mm.
Interesting. Interesting.
No, I'm glad you mentioned Sister Brito. She is a one of the real special ones. We've marched together. Her father, of course, was one of the distinguished professors at Howard University Divinity School.
I didn't know that.
She's got a great legacy that she builds on. But it just seems to me, and maybe I'm too harsh, but when it comes to Brother Biden, he doesn't have any strong grounds for trust, because he's got so much blood on his hands in terms of his support of mass incarceration, support of invasion and occupation of Iraq, support of Wall Street greed. We can go on and on. Now, people change, and I don't believe we should ever lock people into one condition in one state. But part of our problem in America is that there's a legitimacy crisis. People don't trust other people. They don't have confidence in other people because they've been so hypocritical.
Yeah.
And so Biden can't just walk in and act like he's Ace Boone Coon to Martin Luther King Jr. just because he's got an Obama halo over his head. He got a history. He got a record. If he's working with the promoters of the old Jim Crow with Strom Thurmond and facilitating the new Jim Crow, he can't come in and act like he's Martin Luther King Jr. just because he's close to Barack Obama. People not stupid, you know what I mean? So that somehow he's got to be able to muster enough courage to be critical of himself and his past and say, like LBJ, I was once this, now I'm this. Watch what I do. Then you can generate some serious trust. Is that fair?
I agree with you 100%, but I also think that, to be honest, he doesn't even have to be courageous in this moment, frankly. To the point, the moment that the Capitol attack happened, it changed the political and social landscape in this country forever. Because one thing that, you saw 10 Republican House members, detract from the rest of the Republican House members. One thing that has happened is people are now saying this is too much, because this is not just about Black lives anymore. This is about freedom, America, all the virtues of
Right,
this country, so on
right.
and so forth. So I don't think that Biden needs to be courageous. Biden just has to get up there and do what's necessary. And what's necessary is no longer just about Black people. So it makes it even easier for him, but you're, because you're 100% right. I wrote and this is me being really transparent and honest in this space. I wrote a piece, I believe it was for The Root during the primaries. And I said, Joe Biden doesn't deserve Black people. It was when he first entered the race, and I was blacklisted by every campaign of doing anything except for Bernie, Warren, and I believe Julian Castro. Everyone else, was like, look, don't stay away from that guy.
You were telling the truth. You were telling the truth.
But in that truth, that's where I say I don't think that Biden or his campaign or any of the people he has around him, whether white or Black, are courageous in that way. Because if you can't be honest about the things that Biden doesn't deserve, then he's not going to be able to earn the things that he wants to deserve.